dad had a 5-open car up until I was about 4 years old, and then we got into go-kart racing, so still learning how to take turns and accelerate and pass people. At about age 9 or 10, I had a pretty bad crash, so it kind of lost its luster, and I didn't like the competitiveness wheel to wheel. Kind of got out of it around 12, 13, and then around age 15 or 16, we started building up our own 5-open car again. And that's where we are now, just keep on making the car better, and I think we're in a good spot to where we can go out and have some fun and finish some races. I've been in school races since 2005. Our 5-open car's been active in it for about 4 years, but I've raced in stock full as co-pilots, class 10 and class 12. I probably have had about 2,500 miles worth of pre-running under my belt before I did my first race in Mexico. So being with my dad, who's been through it forever, he was able to tell me, hey, this is going to be a bad spot. Hey, you look out for this. And then you actually see it in the race, you're expecting it. I have no problem going over these things slow because it's not worth throwing away the race. It's just reading the terrain and knowing if there's people with cameras or there's people with a bunch of cell phones out, you need to go slow. So just using your head and being smart about a lot of the terrain and the people down there. So within the last 2 or 3 years, there's been a really, they've loosened the rules of the class to non-Volkswagen type parts. And it's really made it user-friendly. So on the same note, it kind of takes away from the legacy of the class. Class 5 was one of the first classes around with Volkswagen suspension and engine and originally transmission. So there is a lot of competition there. There's a lot of people who have good equipment now. We're still running the Volkswagen suspension and engine, so we just really enjoy, and it's in my blood that I love Volkswagens. It was my first car. For the time being and how much fun I'm having with my dad and racing the class, we're totally content where we are. We've struggled so much over the last 5 or 6 years just getting to the finish line that if we can string together a couple of finishes and a couple of solid results, might be the point where we'll upgrade the car and make it more competitive with the new batch of cars, but for the time being, we're having a blast.